All right, so we are back. If you missed that, rewind it.
Oh my
God. Gabby demonstrated the meatball dance, the Jersey Turnpike.
Save that to your computer, guys.
Yes.
Save it.
Is that a one-time only, or are we going to see that ever again?
No, we can do. I think every week we need to come up with another Jersey dance move.
I think you need to bust it out tonight. I think you need to come out with us. And
we're
need
to go
bring
out
it to
after
LA.
this.
I don't think
Jersey,
LA's
baby.
ready for it.
Wait,
But
Jess, you
they
got to
better
announce
get
our
ready.
new guest.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
not only do we have Becky Bayless in studio, we have the one, the only, Melina Perez.
Wait, we need her jersey name.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, Phil. We need
Yeah.
a jersey name for Melina.
I feel like it just has to be Cancun.
Melina Cancun Perez.
Like
It might even have to be Vegas too, because
Vegas. I saw this girl booty bob in
and
Vegas,
I heard
and I'll
about
tell
you in Vegas, Miss
Oh.
Becky.
That I fell asleep and got punched in the ass.
Oh
for
no,
it.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh my God.
Punched in the ass?
Or when I had to give a lap dance to a Chippendale.
That one.
Oh,
That's the story I heard.
Yes.
But
Normal Sunday night for
but
me.
Classy.
we're here, and it's all about you right now, Becky.
Oh,
because yes, all about you. You're a female wrestler.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little about yourself, how you got started with wrestling, and then we're gonna get to, I don't know if people know this about you, but you actually worked with Jwoww and Angelina.
Oh yeah, yes, I did. It was quite.
So how did you get into wrestling?
Well, I was always a fan my whole life growing up, and my parents made the really big mistake of buying me tickets to WrestleMania 10 for my 12th birthday, and I decided that night, this is what I'm gonna do when I grow up. Like there was just nothing that
That's
compared
awesome.
to it, and you know, when I finally did grow up, I was in college, and I found a school by me. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna do this, and I found a school in Brooklyn. I grew up in New York City, and I trained, and I started working on the independent scene on smaller shows, and then slowly bigger and bigger shows. And I actually, well, my senior year of college, I quit wrestling because I was like, it was fun to do when I was in college, and I worked for Atlantic Records for a year and a half, and I got laid off my job, and I was like, you know what? I miss wrestling. This is what I want to do. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. And I packed up my car and moved down to Tampa, which Tampa's like the hotbed for wrestling. All wrestlers live in Florida. I don't know why. Property taxes.
But he's old, Hogan.
And
Like back in the day.
ended up getting a job with TNA, and it's funny because everyone always asks me, Snooki did WrestleMania, and they wanted to do a Jersey Shore gimmick. They wanted to have characters based on Jersey Shore, and they hired the guy, and they're like, we need a girl, we need a Snooki to put with him, and a bunch of 10 different people who I'd worked with before go, there's only one girl that can do it. And that's how you get your break a lot of times. Someone has an idea for something that they want to do, and you just happen to fit that mold, because I don't fit the particular model mold of a lot of girls that get hired, but that's what gave me my opportunity. So I always say, if I ever met Snooki, I would give her the biggest hug, because of her is the reason that I got the
That's
opportunity
awesome.
to do what I love.
Yeah. While we were watching the show, you actually you mentioned it's weird watching the Jersey Shore now because you had to actually study the Jersey Shore.
I was a big fan of the show, and I was really excited when they called me to do the character. But then it was like I had to watch the show every week because I didn't know what was going to be in my script for the next week. And I tried to not so much use their phrases, but come up with phrases of my own.
Which were, give us some of your phrases.
Well, Snooki talks about her gorilla juice heads. I like to call them manimals, which I actually stole from Santino. But it was always my way of paying homage to Santino, who's one of my favorite wrestlers and one of my favorite people. So, I had manimals, and, I would always, I actually, when we had Jwoww and I had to be face to face with her talking smack, and I talked about her fake weave and her. Meanwhile, I have clip-in extensions in my hair, sprayed orange, nails, tits jacked up to here, and I said something about her dollar store fun bags.
Yeah.
And
that was awesome.
And
I
got a lot of tweets about that one. So yeah, I just tried to put my own spin on it, that it was influenced but not a complete knockoff parody.
Now, what was it like working with Jwoww when they told you Jwoww was coming into this? I mean,
I found out the day before.
Really?
And the interesting thing is I'd wrestled for 7-8 years at the time, and I'd never done television before, and it's a whole different ballgame working for TV than working for smaller shows. So we debuted on live TV, no less. So that was our first TV experience, which was very nerve-wracking.
When was this?
in October.
October of not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
So because it's October 2010. So we debuted on live TV on a Thursday, and then we had a pay-per-view on a Sunday, and then we found out Sunday night at the pay-per-view that Jwoww would be coming in the next day to do that. So it was everything happened at once. So I'm still so nervous. I'd been in this company less than a week, and I knew that her coming in was going to bring so much exposure to the company.
Right.
And so I felt a lot of pressure because here's my third time ever appearing on TV. And, hopefully it would really get the company's name out there much more and get them a lot more exposure. So I really wanted to kill it, And she got there at 5:30, and we do our tapings at 7. So from 5:30 to 7, or 5:30 to 6, because that's when we have to be out of the ring and they start letting fans in, I had to teach her how to kick my ass.
Oh,
So, and it was funny because when she was, I'm like, hit me. I'm like, don't worry about hurting me. Like, I know how to protect myself. This is what I do. And she said the sweetest thing to me. I'll never forget. She goes, but I don't want to hurt you. I want to hug you. You remind me of Snooks. Because I was in full, hair, and it was the cutest thing. And she was such a sweetheart and very mellow. And it was funny because they wanted what they had in the script. They had it with a question mark. Cookie was my name. Very original, I know.
now, did you come up with that?
No, I did not come up with that. And I didn't know what they were going to call me. And so I had come up with some ideas, and then they sat me down there and they were so excited. Like, your name's going to be Cookie. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But it worked. And then the guy that I worked with, he started calling me Cooks, and then fans started calling me Cooks. So I embraced it. Now I love it. I think it's hilarious. I'm like, who doesn't love a cookie,
And you teamed up with Angelina also, didn't you?
Yeah, Angelina came in, and she actually did a match. I mean, it was the same situation where she came for the tapings, and we had to teach her. And she spent a little bit of time in the ring. And
You guys did a tag team, correct?
We did a 6-woman tag, and she was on our team. And basically, she was on 2 weeks of TV, and we came out doing a promo, and I said basically, Jwoww kicked my ass, and there was a group of other girls called the Beautiful People with her. So I think it was a 4-on-1 situation. I'm not gonna let it happen. Of course, it wasn't at all, but I'm not gonna let it happen again. I have my girl Angelina, the real star of Jersey Shore. Obviously, I was a bad guy. Obviously, I was a bad guy.
Which you guys call a heel in wrestling,
A heel,
correct?
exactly. So I can say ridiculous things that make zero sense and delusional.
Which makes your character even more. Because who wants to play like a Jersey Shore character and be the good guy?
Oh, dude, it was so fun. And that's the thing, because some people ask me, like, don't you wish you had an opportunity just to be yourself? I'm like, I had so much fun doing that character. I got to act like a complete jackass and get paid for it. There was nothing
That's
better.
amazing.
Yeah. So I just said, Angelina's here, the real star. She has my back now, and we want to wrestle you guys next week. And yeah.
Now, watching the show and then meeting them in person, when it comes to Jwoww and Angelina, is there that big of a difference in their personality? Were you kind of shocked, like, oh wow, she's much chiller than what she is on TV? Because Angelina, we've always taken as like the annoying little bitch. Who,
everyone hates.
Well, I only had to deal with her for a few hours, and she was actually very sweet. And the fact that she was willing to get in there and mix it up, and she had no complaints or anything, she was perfectly cool to deal with. But I mean, like I said, living with someone in a house and being around them 24 hours is a lot different than having to work with them for a few hours, know, and when they're getting paid a lot of money to be there and do it, it's much different. And with Jwoww, she was always my favorite on the show because, I mean, of course, we all love Snooki for the entertainment value, but like I said, she's the kind of girl that you would be friends with. She's the kind of girl that I would chill with. So she was always my favorite, and the fact that she was so chill. She was actually a little shy, but I think maybe it's because she was so out of her element. She was there in our locker room with all, these wrestlers, and I think she just felt like, but very humble. And Roger was with her, and he was awesome. And Roger looked like, he fit right in with the guys. He's all jacked and tattoos. He fit right in.
They should do a match with him.
Oh, dude, Roger would probably kill it. Roger
versus Robbie E, which was your
that would be
partner,
amazing.
right?
Jwoww, Roger, you and Robbie.
Well, Robbie and I
other.
broke up,
Oh.
so I had enough of him. I'm like, peace out, douchebag.
Over it.
So we broke up. But to go back to the Jwoww thing and to give an example of how chill and how cool she was, and it was in the script with a question mark. It said Cookie slaps Jwoww ? So, but they were like, all right, Becky, you have to ask Jwoww if it's okay to slap her in the face. I'm like, thanks, guys.
Which you did very well.
And I, and I went to her. I go, listen, there's a way. it's a slap, and I'm not gonna whack the shit out of you. I'm not gonna bust your eardrum. I've never broken a jaw, but it's really gonna make it look that much cooler and give you a reason to beat me down. She's like, sure. So she was, like I said, so down to earth and mellow, and it was a lot of fun. And it ended up getting an insane amount of press coverage. And I was actually moving that week into a new house. The same week I did, like, it all when it rains, it pours. So I didn't even have cable set up in my house. And I was getting text messages, you're on E! News, you're on Entertainment Tonight. And then one of my friends took her BlackBerry and took a video, and we were on CNN headline news.
Really?
That's crazy.
And I'm like, we made CNN. And I'll never forget what I said. I go, I always thought when I made CNN headline news, it would be on Nancy Grace for, like, my body being found cut up into a million pieces.
Oh my
I always thought it would be
Don't
Nancy
say
Grace.
that.
So at least I made CNN headline news, did not have to get murdered. Thanks, guys.
Oh my gosh! And you know, I went back and watched the fight, and Jwoww was actually really, really good.
Yeah, she is good.
Was that planned? And it was just kind of the way that you guys kind of felt. Was that planned for her to beat you up over, like, you were like underneath the?
No, and that actually was my fault.
And that looked like it kind of really would have hurt.
I mean, the truth, I feel I'm exposing the business right now, but I was banging my own head into, and I told her, I'm like, just grab my hair, I'll bang my own head, you know. And the thing is, the side of the apron, of the ring apron where I was, is the hardest part of the ring. It's just wood. So I was like, you know what? If I'm a little dizzy, whatever, you know, I'd rather make it look good. And of course, I'm glad that it did, because it was all over. Right. You know, and it had really brought some more attention to the company. But it was my fault, because I'm the one with the years of experience, and I let her we didn't have the right ring placement, and that's my job to have that right, especially in there with someone who has zero experience. So, no, it wasn't meant to be like that, and that was something that I messed up.
Did you have bruises after that? Were you hurt the next day?
I have bruises now.
Oh, God. Permanent or, like, just...
No, I just bruise really easily. So if I have, like a match that goes more than, like, 5 minutes, I'll wake up looking like a battered woman.
So if she comes at 5 and you guys go on at, like, 7, you really don't have that much time to rehearse or practice. Like, you really have to just get into it and make it work and look as real as possible.
Yeah, it's my 3rd time on TV, so it's like the blind leading the blind in there, and you know, I just really wanted to, you know, do a great job.
That's
it was
awesome.
really important to me, and it was a huge opportunity, and I'm so happy we got to do it.
Okay, how do you slap somebody where it doesn't hurt that bad? That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Basically,
what do you do?
You just have to make sure not to get them in the ear, because you can bust somebody's eardrum, and not to get them in the jaw, because you can break someone's jaw, because I know people who have had both injuries from a slap.
Oh my God.
From a slap. So you just kind of cup your hand and hope it makes a sound. And it actually didn't make enough of a sound. I would have liked it to make more, but she was fine. And
it was a very realistic slap.
Hitting in the right place. So
definitely check it out, guys. If you haven't seen that clip, go back and watch that on YouTube.
You can YouTube it. And dude, I went back and watched it like a couple weeks ago.
It's
just
really
I wanted
good.
To see it. And it had something like 2 million hits.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that's unbelievable.
Wow.
So, you know, it's nice to feel like, you know, I did a little
pop culture.
Girl, you're famous.
Not quite, but you know, I'm happy that I could do something like that, you know, to bring attention to the company that I worked for, and also, you know, just show a little bit of what I can do. So
because of your cool story, I'm gonna let you retain the nickname Cookie.
Yeah, I like it.
Thanks.
That's why I was calling you that.
Here's
I love
actually a
it.
story right now, since we were talking about Cookie. We saw like a Halloween store today, and maybe it's a wrestler thing. You always have to go into Halloween stores, see if there's any like cool eyelashes or makeup or stuff like that we might want your stuff for a photo shoot.
I mean, it's everywhere.
Okay, yeah. But like, you know, we happen to pass a Halloween store, and my girl calls me. She's like, Becky, get over here. And there's like a Jersey Shore section, and I have a picture of it. I'll show you. There's a wig, and it says Cookie, and I'm like,
I've seen that before.
And I tweeted, and I'm sure it's just because it rhymes with Snooki, and they think they won't get sued. But the truth is, TNA has that copyright.
Yeah.
So I tweeted, I'm like, really waiting on my royalty checks, people. Like,
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't know if I really doubt that they took it from me, but the fact is, I'm not trying to help TNA make more money, but I mean, they do have it trademarked. I'm just saying. So maybe you Halloween people need to get your stuff in order.
Well, something that wasn't trademarked. We were watching the episode, and it was a one-on-one with Dina. and you actually said that you wore the same exact dress on.
And it's when you were talking about, you know, how she copies everything Snippy does, Dina was jacking my style. The dress that she was wearing in the, you know, in the interview room, I actually have a clothing sponsor, Rebel Spirit, and they provided everything that I wore on TNA for the year that I was there. And they also, you know, send stuff to Jersey Shore people. It was a dress I wore on TV over a year ago. Like, so she's got to pick up with this season stuff.
Yeah.
And I rocked the leopard print hair extensions.
Hello,
dude,
2012.
I've been rocking them, and it's in the video with Jwoww. So I'm like, I see, Dina, you've been studying tapes of me here. I guess. I mean, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but it was just so funny to hear with the leopard hair in the dress I wore a year ago.
Then the tough
like,
guy walk. They wanted to be tough guys this episode.
That was
so human.
Dina's just trying to be Cookie.
yeah.
Well, so what do you have going on now as far as wrestling? I know you're stationed in Florida still, so...
I'm just wrestling as much as possible. You know, I'm definitely still in the game. I love the fact I get to travel the world and do what I love, which is like entertaining people. It's a lot of smaller shows, you know, and I'm actually, you know, a lot of autograph signings, stuff like that. And I'm in town this weekend. Actually, we have a wrestling convention that they do every year in LA. It's called a Wrestle Reunion. And it's just a chance for the fans to come out and meet, you know, all the wrestlers that they see on TV and take pictures and sign autographs. And we're actually having a girls show on Friday afternoon so they can see some of the girls mix
Out here
up.
in LA?
Yeah. It's,
Where is that? Yeah, let us know.
I want to say it's at the LAX. I want to say Hilton, but I feel like I'm messing that up and getting it wrong. But
Well,
look
where can we
online.
find
Well,
it?
you know that WrestleReunion.com has all the
WrestleReunion.com.
information, and there's also a bunch of other people a lot more famous than me, like Vader and Scott Steiner and all that.
I can't
but
even picture you right now as a wrestler. You are just the sweetest thing. I can't picture you like whooping.
I wouldn't
want to
hurt you either.
I know.
I hate when I love being a bad guy. It is so much fun for me because I like to think I'm pretty nice in real life, and I'm very mellow and agreeable. But when I'm a bad guy, I can say the most ridiculous things I would never say in real life and act like such a tool. And it's just so fun to be able to just be that person that I would never be in real life, but I might have the thoughts once in a while, but just let it go. And for me, it's a lot more fun being booed than being cheered. I love it, to be able to make people hate me, especially as a woman. Thank you. I mean, as a woman, we face like certain challenges because you know, guys want to cheer cute girls, you know, so I feel like you have to work that much harder to really be hated and be that bitch so that everyone's gonna hate you. And I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you did.
I got pretty hated.
B Scream Cookie. Where
B
can we-
Scream, that's my
Scream
new
Cookie.
name.
Or I guess it should be Cookie B Scream.
Cookie
It's
B-
like cookies and cream.
B Scream, of all things
Cookie
they could have called
Scream.
me, B Scream.
Cookies and
Be
cream.
scream.
That's
Cookies
my
and
that all
cream.
night tonight. Yeah.
So
I've been called way worse, believe me.
where can we keep in contact with you? How can we follow the things that you're doing? Websites,
Twitter. I love the Twitter, let me tell you, because I think all wrestlers are a little bit ADD. Like we need that constant stimulation. So I love the 140 characters and less, but I use that to interact with my fans and keep everyone updated as to what's going on with me. My Twitter name is Becky_Bayless, BAYLESS. And I like to think I'm pretty funny on Twitter. Yes, you know, especially some of the drunk tweets are really. That's great.
So it's Thursday, guys. Make sure you follow her because Thursday.
Because we're going out tonight, so God only knows what we're gonna get into. I think the booty bop is gonna the Jersey Turnpike.
Yes.
Is
Turnpike.
We'll be put to use
Especially
tonight.
now that you're a pro.
Yes.
Yes.
And you also have a website.
Oh, it's RebeccaBayless.net. Yeah, my awesome girl Alyssa does that for me, and she keeps it. Honestly, she knows more about what's going on with my career than I do.
There you go.
Like if she'll see I'm on something or a new photo shoot or something like that gets posted to the internet, like she's on it. I find out what I'm doing by checking my site.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Becky, for joining us. We
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate
This
it.
was awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna shoot over to